on our moons. So remember, everything on the outside must times by everything on the inside. So we draw on those two moons. Remember, along our moons, we times. So we do 3 times 2a, which gives us 6a, and we cross it off when we've done that one. And now we do 3 times positive 5, which is plus 15. And we need to do exactly the same for this one. So 5 times a, which is 5a. Again, we should be crossing them off. And then 5 times minus 2, which is minus 10. And then we just need to collect the like terms. So we see we've got an a or 6a and a 5a there. So that gives us 11a. And then we've got 15 minus 10, which is positive 5. What we must first do is draw on our moons. So remember, along our moons, we times. So we're going to do 3 times 2y, which is 6y, and we cross it off. And then 3 times minus 5, which is minus 15. We can't do anything with that, so that is our final answer. So another expanding one. Remember, the first thing we must do is draw on our moons. And remember, along these, we times. So we're going to do 4 times 3x, which is 12x, and then 4 times positive 5. Remember, always cross them off. So 4 times 5 is positive 20. We can't do anything with that, so that's our final answer. We must first draw on both of our moons. Remember, this time we need 2 dots because there's 2 different brackets. And again, what we're going to do is times along our moons. So we've got 3 times x, which is 3x, and we cross it off. Then we do 3 times minus 4, which is minus 12. Again, cross it off. So now we've finished this one. Now we need to do this other one. So we've got minus 2 times x, which is minus 2x, and cross that off. And then minus 2 times 5, which is minus 10. Now the final thing to do is tidy this up. So we've got a 3x and a minus 2x, which gives us just the 1x. And then we've got minus 12 minus 10, which is minus 22. The first thing we must do is draw on our moons. And remember, we always times along the moons. So we're going to do x times x, which gives us x squared. Now remember, that squared means times by itself. So we've got x squared, and then we do x times 2, which is positive 2x. So if we're looking at the top one, again, we must draw on our moons. So we're going to do 3 times 4x, which gives us 12x. Remember to cross off. And then we do 3 times positive y, which gives us 3y. So that's your final answer there. And then if we do the same for the bottom, we draw on our moons. So we get 5p times p, which is 5p squared. And then we do 5p times minus 3. Well, it's going to be minus 15p. So the first thing we must do is draw on our moons. Remember, along our moons, we times. So we do 3 times 2a, which is 6a, and we cross that out. 3 times 5, which is 15. We cross that out. Then we do 5 times a, which is 5a, and then 5 times minus 2, which is minus 10. And then what we need to do is collect our like terms. So we've got 6a plus 5a, which is 11a, and 15 minus 10, which gives us plus 5. Again, the first thing we must do is draw on our moons. Now, this is why they're called moons, because it looks a little bit like a moon. So just kind of think of it like that. And remember, along our moons, we times. So we do y times y, which is y squared. And we cross that out. Then we do y times minus 7, which is minus 7y. Again, cross that out. Then we do 5 times y, which is 5y. And then 5 times minus 7, which is minus 35. Now we have to collect like terms. So we get that y squared stays the same. Minus 7 plus 5y, well, we get minus 2, and then minus 35 stays the same. So again, we must first draw on our moons, and then we times along. So we do p times p, which gives us p squared. P times minus 4, minus 4p. Then we've got 9 times p, which is plus 9p, and then 9 times minus 4 is minus 36. Now we have to collect like terms, so there's nothing that's p squared, so that stays the same. Then we've got minus 4p plus 9p, which gives us positive 5p. Then we've got that minus 36 on the end. So again, the first thing we must do is draw on our moons. So 3 times 2y, which is 6y, cross it off. And then 3 times minus 5, which is minus 15. So again, we must draw on our moons. So the first thing we're going to do is p times p, which gives us p squared. Remember, cross it off. Then we do p times minus 8, which is minus 8p, cross off. Then we do 7 times p, which is 7p. And then 7 times minus 8, which is minus 56. Okay, then we can simplify these. So we've got minus 8 plus 7, which is minus 1. So we just write it as minus p. P squared minus p minus 56. So the very first thing, again, we must draw on our moons. So we're going to do x times x, which is x squared. Cross it off. X times 6, which is positive 6x. Then we've got 4 times x, which is positive 4x. And 4 times 6, which is 24. So then, again, we can simplify those. So we get x squared, and they become plus 10x, and we just put that positive 24 on the end. So again, draw on our moons, the very first thing we must do. So we're going to do y times y, which is y squared. Cross it off where we've done it. Then we do y times minus 3, which is minus 3y. Again, cross it off. Then we do 8 times y, which is positive 8y. And then 8 times minus 3, which is minus 24. Again, these are both y's, so we can tidy that up. So we get minus 3 plus 8 is positive 5y. So then we just put the other two around it. What we first must do is rewrite it in a form we know, because remember, the squared just means times by itself. So once we've got that, we can draw on our moons and do it exactly the same as before. So 2t times 2t is 4t squared. Cross it off. Then we've got 2t times minus 3, which is minus 6t. Then we need to do minus 3 times 2t, which again is minus 6t. And then we've got minus 3 times minus 3, which is positive 9. So then we can make that neater by making that minus 12t, and we put the others either side.